Welcome to BalletWise. My name is Michael Wise, its host and its creator. I want to thank all of you that have been getting involved in these conversations. It has been a blessing, and we want to thank you all again. Now, a lot of the comments that we've been receiving recently have had these statements, innuendos about the decline of interest in ballet, why some of you have stopped really watching ballet, and also what could be causing some of this disinterest, and maybe how we can fix it. Now, I want to start off with the idea that, yes, ballet has changed. We're more and more places are being focused on heavy technique. We have a lot of influence from social media. We have a lot of influence in just the world we live in. Things have changed from the past. And when I grew up, there was no social media. You could still see ballet on television. You could see symphonies on television. We were exposed to the arts through the media, but it was a much longer format. Now, today, most of us are getting our information. Most of us are looking at things that we enjoy on social media. And I feel like that actually is influencing a lot of us. Because today, when you're going and looking up ballet videos, and I'm not saying that there aren't some wonderful full-length videos, and there's some brilliant dancers out there, but we're being bombarded, where all we're doing is getting snippets of what a dancer does. So that little bit of a snippet of just that pirouette, or just that portion of the coda, or just that variation, it's starting to kind of get in our heads. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that social media is this big bad monster, because quite often I turn to it for my own entertainment. But I'm not necessarily looking at a lot of ballet stuff. But the things I am taking in are also shown in a very short format, no more than 10 minutes. And that can have an influence on a lot of us. Now, I know I'm from an entirely different generation. I'm in my 50s. When I danced, the world was very different. And you could still see the arts on television. You could see full-length ballets. You could see the symphony. And this was on regular television, not educational television. I can remember when Rudolf Nureyev was on the Muppet Show. And for many of you, you might have to look that one up. But the difference is we were taking it in. And then the only way we could experience more of it was to go out and go to performances. And for some of us, start taking ballet. And that is where that growth starts. But today, I think we have got too many things going on and too many influences. With the world getting more and more expensive, ballet's gotten a lot more expensive. And that's a problem, because leotards now are getting to outrageous levels. Point shoes, you have to mortgage your house to even afford them. Everything has gotten so expensive. Ballet classes have almost turned into fashion shows when we're there to actually work. So we can all see that we're being influenced in many ways. Ballet's becoming more expensive. So now all of a sudden you have fewer and fewer people that want to invest that kind of money. Social media is teaching us that we want to do this or do that, or we have to do it this way or we do it that way, instead of experiencing it in a theater. Now, I know, and I want your thoughts on this, because I think we can fix it. I don't think it's lost, but I do think it's in a change, and I think it's morphing. And I want to be part of that conversation that can help maybe the direction it's morphing to. Because ballet always has to grow. The arts will develop and change over time. And that's not something that we can sit and argue about that. But quite often we can't go back. But if we don't understand where we came from, we'll end up repeating a lot of the mistakes or creating new ones because we don't understand what things we're leaving behind. And we've talked about all of that. But understanding that compared to the rest of the world, the United States is very different. In many other places in the world, if you want to be a dancer, there really is only one school, or the government is what is supporting the arts, and it becomes an identity of an entire culture. In the United States, because we're getting so and so focused on competitions, or we're looking at the fact that the cost, or we don't think we can actually do this if we can't get our leg by our head and do 10 pirouettes. Now, I can see it from both sides because back when I was dancing, I could do 10 pirouettes. But I used that as a tool. I didn't use it as my identity. And the fact that some of our people that have left great comments are making this, pointing out, well, because I can't lift my leg over my head, or I can't do 10 pirouettes, well, then I guess I don't have a shot. That is sad. I don't want anyone to ever feel like dance is excluding them because we just don't have those abilities. There are brilliant dancers around this world that their extension is not over their head and they can't do 10 pirouettes. But what they bring is their personality, their artistry, their musicality, their intent. And that's what makes them special. But if we look at why we shouldn't dance, then we won't, or we'll walk away. It used to be, yeah, there were some costs involved, but they weren't outrageous. There used to be more of a standard that a lot of schools would follow that I think we've kind of gone away from. But that's the past. And we're not going to recreate the past. We're moving forward. So, what do you think we should do? I would love to see arts education back in all of our schools. But I don't think that's ever going to happen because there aren't very many people that value what arts education does. And I don't want to get into the political world because I don't think that has its place in the arts. But we have to support each other. And the young dancers that we're developing today, if we're a teacher or a director, we should be showing them videos of the older generations, not just the 10 pirouettes or the leg over the head. We should be showing them all of it, not just letting them find some of it. If we have the opportunity to get involved in our schools where we can talk about bringing back some arts education, or making sure that our schools are going and seeing performances of the local studios, that actually benefits not only the students, but it also benefits that local ballet school. Ballet should be for all, but the reality is ballet is developing only into a very, very small avenue of those who can. Financially, location, technical talent. We're excluding people because if you don't live in a town that has a really well-established ballet school, you could be the most talented person on the planet, but you're probably never going to get out of there. We also have ballet schools that are becoming so selective in body type that now all of a sudden you're excluding probably some of the people that will develop into amazing principal dancers, but they're not going to get the opportunity because they could be too short or too tall. Now, I'm not saying that I know what has to happen, but these are things that I see. And if I see them, you probably see them too. We can help ballet change and develop. But ballet needs to evolve. But ballet should evolve to include all of us, not just some of us. We could easily start by trying to find standards that we as ballet teachers will live up to. So let's start this conversation. Let's talk about this. Let's see where it goes. Because I know so many of you think social media is the bad guy. I know plenty of us think that the training's the bad guy, or the choreographer, or the dancer. But the reality is, there is no one solution. But we have to start doing something, or we'll have nothing left. So hopefully, this has piqued your interest. made you want to think. Help us look at some solutions. But remember, we live in a world where we can't create restrictions and we can't force people to it. We have to find organic ways. I don't have all the answers. I wish I did. But you guys can probably help me with that. So once again, my name is Michael Wise. This has been BalletWise. Hopefully you'll get involved with this. But remember, keep dancing, make sure you're feeling it, and be the best person you can be. Bye.